Namaste and welcome, beloved mighty companions. Thank you for joining us in the light of divine being and in this gratitude to Jesus, the voice within, for showing us the way back. And every day I just see how that voice is so needed. Or we would be rats in a maze with no way out. No way out of this maze. The miscreation is you just look out in the diversity in consciousness. The playground to pretend we're not wholly in it, and without that voice going, okay, here's what you focus on, here's what to look at here. Oh my gosh, the smorgasbord of life that's really death, to pretend that this world is life. And to have that voice just going, no, this is what you look at. No, don't look at that. Don't spend mind time. It's just so, it just really makes that runway so straight and narrow. It's like a horse in a race, you know, where you have to have this on like this, because otherwise it's like, oh, you're trying to focus, meditate, you go, I'll just go check this out over here. And you start to see, like I said, Jesus says, you're like so mind wandering, you know, you have a habit of mind wandering. You know how he says that in the Course? It's like, oh yes, Jesus, I'm seeing that in spades. I need your help to uncouple the belief that salvation lies in mind wandering. So we come to lesson 247 today, and starting with the light of infinite being, the light that we are, the only thing that can be shared. In our direct experiences, light beings, is the light the only thing that can be shared. Can we find anything else of this world that can be shared? You know, we go out to lunch, we share lunch, we share conversations, or seem to. Are we really sharing? It's an interesting question. Can conversations truly be shared in the light of divine being? It's that horizontal trying to share, which is really trying to get. Does divine being need to get anything? Does it need to share the way the ego shares? Can we see the difference that the light just is? Like, it's full, it's total, it's complete. It can be silent and totally happy. And I'm seeing it from Jesus. I'm so grateful how he's really showing me how like we've made the light like a hot potato. Like, really, it's like, oh, I say I want to be like, no, you don't. Because if we did, or I did, I'll take it, you know, be 24/7. It does get happier and happier, just happier and happier, and more peaceful and more peaceful. You could still see, you know, him showing me areas. Well, yeah, let me show you directly. Supreme happiness is really a hot potato. Treat it like a hot potato. Oh, not getting near that. Don't want to be anywhere near that light. As we just go deeper into this looking at denial, how much, well, we can ask. Jesus and the divine light of being is honesty of God. Are there still things I need to see that are denials of light? And will you show me? We ask the light, will you show me? Love, will you show me where I'm just saying no to this light? It's like sometimes it feels like when it's going down, I've mentioned this before, but I see how helpful it is, because it's fully admitting the denial. where we were talking about this last night, how you start to see if you follow like pain or any kind of like aggravation or anything, you just like stay with it with Jesus. And then you'll get that inkling. It's like, there's pleasure in this. It's pain, but there's pleasure in there. There's like that wanting of this in there. It's so eye-opening for me. It's like, oh, then you start to see everything's that's not perfect peace. There's that wanting under it. There's that pleasure. I'm saying, oh, this is so painful, whatever it was. But then you start going down, you see, oh, wait, there's pleasure in there too. There's that wanting of this in there, and it like breaks the whole game open when we let them take the mind down, take us all the way, just keep going. Like, what's below that? It's like, I don't want this. I really don't want the light. I'd rather have this pain, or I'd rather have this suffering. Like, we want this suffering. So I'm really grateful that he's showing it all, like no holds barred. So today, without forgiveness, I will still be blind. And I'm seeing without him to show me where I need to forgive, I'm going to stay. It's blindness, complete blindness. We can ask in the light. Without him, the light showing us where forgiveness is needed, will we stay blind? And hear what the light says. Woo-hoo. We need to ask the light to show us. Because the delusion is we tried to make it such a little maze in there. The direct way, if we want directness, without forgiveness, I'll still be blind. So let's ask in the light of divine being, is it true that without forgiveness, I'll still be blind? And hear the light's answer. Without the willingness to see things a different way, will we stay blind? So we can see how powerful in the light of divine being, willingness is everything. Willingness is just everything. That's really the clue. Without willingness to see it a different space, there's no crack in there we'll just keep ourselves trapped in delusion. Without asking the light, we can ask, without asking the light for help, will we stay trapped in delusion? It's like, wow, yeah, it doesn't come in and say no. It says yes. So we have to ask what to forgive. To show us, show me what I need to see through. And Sarah wrote this really beautiful expression about the light circles, and she mentioned the journaling, and I felt that it would be helpful for me to just comment on the journaling just so it's really clear. Anything's helpful. If the spirit gives us guidance to do something like journaling, it's all helpful because, it's spirit guided. And with journaling, a lot of times you can see, okay, it's right here. Like I was typing out conversations to Jesus, and sometimes would journal like that. I haven't done that in a while, but it was like but Jesus, nah. I can't remember. I should find it because it's really entertaining because when we see through the error, right, you can see all the beliefs you have in that journaling. It was like, because I asked him about something I was upset about, having to move between two places or something. And then I just started ripping with all the thoughts I had about it. I don't want to do this and da. And so even though I had written all of that, and I'm talking directly to Jesus here, right, with I could see that I needed to go through with him on each of the lines. Do I still believe this? Because even if we journal, even if we express, like, do you see, if the thoughts come out, we can stay asleep and say thoughts. You say, and just want, it sounds like Lucy's teacher, that sound in the back when in Peanuts where Lucy's teacher's going wah, 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 wah. Because sometimes we do that to really hold on to the energy of it. And then we go on to the story about it. So I just found that I had to go back and check in, to say, okay, is this cleared? is this cleared to take it, make sure that truly, because we really in spades how we want to hold on to the whole thing. And we can ask them in the light of divine being, do we really want to hold on to the idea we have of ourselves? So it's really, that's why I was referring to starting as light and then placing the thought in the light to make sure that it's gone. And then I check in and go, okay, Jesus, is that really, is there anything left in the subconscious mind on that little gig right there? So, otherwise it kind of floats down there. You'll hear people talk about it. Well, I tried and I really thought I forgave this, but it's just the way consciousness functions to hide everything and not see it. And I thought I forgave it. And then it's, whoa, wait a minute. I thought I was here already. And it seems to rise in consciousness again. It gets lighter sometimes each time. But like, we're going for, first time looks, we're not wasting any time here. We've got the one who knows, who can show us where that little charge is left, that little desire for experience is left. So I guess the point here really is without full forgiveness being truly a change, the deepest change in perception on experience. And I'm seeing that occur, at the level of desire, wanting the experience as Jesus. Yes. Wanting the experience. That's the fastest way. Go directly to the desire for the experience and have him show us. Do I still desire this? We can ask questions like, just try it. Do I still desire to be unhappy more than I desire supreme happiness? And here he says, so we can't trick ourselves, these kinds of questions and go, okay, start there. And that's the admission. All right, you're right. I must, because I'm not supremely happy 24/7. Okay, so show me what are the conditions I'm investing in that I'm not 24/7 supreme happiness. So we come back to this is all the lesson for me. That sin is the symbol of attack. Jesus, will you show me any desire for experience? Okay, we'll just ask Jesus, do I still have a desire for experience of attack? Just waiting here. Because sometimes the ego does try to come in. Oh, of course I don't. But kind of listen to light. Okay, will you show me where there's still a desire for experience of attack? The wanting of it. And just placing it gently, that wanting energy in the light, and say, is that really true that it's possible to have attack in the light of divine being? Can we find attack anywhere in the light? So we just find out that attack is that energy of wanting. It's all wanting an experience, wanting experience of attack and being attacked. We can ask the light, is attack the desire for experience? Hear what the light says. What does the light say? Desire to experience two, one, the attacker and the attackee, the victim and the victimizer, those desires within consciousness that we have to see through for supreme happiness. And hear the light's answer. The only way to supreme happiness is to see that. Beholden anywhere and I will suffer, which we can ask the light. If I behold attack anywhere, will I suffer? Hear what the light says. The part of us that already knows will be attacked answers that if we behold it attack anywhere. That means even looking up at the cross, watching a crucifixion movie and watching Jesus be crucified and scourged. If we see attack, that is attack, will we suffer? You can ask divine light that and hear what it says. Jesus, will you show me the desire to view the crucifixion on the cross as attack? And can you show me how it's just merely a symbol of how I want attack for myself? That I would desire that experience of attack. In the light of divine being and honesty of God, am I willing to see that the crucifixion on the cross is an expression of infinite divine love? It's okay if we say no. We just ask Jesus, please help me to see that. For Jesus came to show that attack is impossible, to demonstrate he didn't know what attack was, even though he's hanging there. It's like, how can I be attacked? That's the power of, if we keep the idea of attack in our minds, we will experience it. We'll just ask the divine light of being, honesty of God, if we keep attack as real in our mind, will we experience attack? For forgiveness is the only means whereby Christ's vision comes to me. In the light of divine being, is forgiveness the only means whereby Christ's vision comes to me in our direct experiences, light beings? Through a change in perception, through accepting the miracle impulse all the way, just to express. Accepting the movement of God through us as divine light. Accepting light. Is that the only means for Christ's vision? Honoring the light within. We can hear the light tell us what we already know. Do we already know that we're light? Do we still have energies like we sometimes want to avoid the light like the plague? Avoid perfect happiness, just avoid it. There's still energies of wanting to avoid perfect happiness below our level of awareness. What does the light say? Will you show me all the areas, we ask the light, where trying to avoid light and pretend the light's not there? And do I need your help to find those? It's the fastest way. That's why he's the one who tells us which miracles to perform. That's why we ask him first before performing miracles. That part I was overlooking for a long time. Because we want to do it ourselves. See, we want to, even the ego wants to take control of a miracle. Misguided miracles. Let me accept what his sight shows me as the simple truth. Is the light of divine being and honesty of God, is that simple? Is the light simple? in our direct experience as light beings. His sight shows me as the simple truth. Let me accept what his sight shows me. Is his sight the light in our direct experience as light beings? And is the light simple truth in our direct experience as light beings? And I am healed completely. When we accept this light, are we healed completely? Completely healed as the light of divine being. Are we completely healed when we accept it fully? And if we deny the light, can we ever feel whole or complete in our direct experience? If we don't accept the light fully, will we experience pain? You see, it's kind of an all or one deal. All or none. Is accepting light all or none? It's like full acceptance. It's the only solution. If there's any little wigglers in there, will we experience supreme happiness in our direct experience as light beings? Brother, come and let me look on you. This is the holiness that's here in this circle. Let me look on you. Your loveliness reflects my own. Jesus, is there any desire not to see the loveliness in my brother? I'm willing to see it directly and lay that before this holy altar. In the light of divine being and honesty of God, do we need our brother for Jesus' wake-up plan? Do we need our brother's help as part of the wake-up plan? And do we need Jesus to show us how that works? Because we really don't know. We're so used to the unholy relationship. Jesus, will you show us the way to the loveliness in my brother so I can see it in myself? That I see only light in my brother. That's my only prayer. Infinite, unchanging perfection. Whether my brother's yelling and screaming, whether he leaves wet towels on the floor, socks. Am I willing to see the holiness in my brother? And if the answer's no, then we just look at it. Okay, I'm not willing. He can do anything. He's holy until he puts his socks on the floor, however that looks. Yet I see that if that shadow is cast upon my brother, as Jesus said, you can cast, remember, every stone you cast out against your brother, it doesn't go anywhere other than to yourself. In the light of divine being, as one single thought cast out about my brother, only casting to myself when my direct experience is the light being. Your sinlessness is mine, is in the light of divine being and honesty of God, my brother's sinlessness mine and my direct experience. Is the only way to see divine perfection in myself by seeing it in my brother in direct experience as a light being. You stand forgiven and I stand with you. Is our brother forgiven in the light of divine being? Can we find a place where our brother's not forgiven? in honesty of God? Can we find a place where we're not forgiven in light of divine being? So one scrap held against a brother is to hold a boulder against ourselves. Is to give ourselves just little scraps of nothing when the Father offers us everything. Jesus, thank you for showing me that my brother is the way home. The fastest way home. For he brings me the gift of seeing where I've denied myself everything. Even when I don't want to see that. He shows me exactly where the projection is. That's why brothers are always the bringer of light. They can only be bringers of light because they're only light. They're just revealing where my belief is in darkness. Is that true in the light of divine being? Is that what a brother's purpose is for? Will we honor that? That's the question. Are we willing to honor what our brother brings to our door in that regard and see it as the gift that it is? So would I look on everyone today? My brothers are your sons. In the light of divine being, honesty of God. Do we want our brothers to be God's son in honesty? If there's a no in there, then there's just something to look at, because that's the whole ego's game, not wanting our brother to be a son of God, because it's a reflection that we don't want to be the son of God. Any energy around that, Jesus? Show me. It's like everybody can be a son of God, or it's the other way around. Everybody's a son of God except me. Is there everyone can see the light except for me. Is there any energy around that? Show me. Someone had that in the forum at one of the Facebook groups. You can join, but if you're telling anybody that they're not awake, you are and they're not, you can't say that on the forum. Anyone who's awake in the light of divine being, is anyone who is awake going to be saying, I'm enlightened, but you're not? Who's saying that? Let's find the one who says that. The one who's saying that is the one that's trying to preserve a sense of personal identity. So it works two ways. It goes, but we have to get full energy of that wanting and admission that we do not want our brother to be saved. Because that's a reflection. We don't want to be saved. We're too scared to look in and see it. So let's see it in our brother first. Our brothers. That's what I'm realizing, how powerful this is. We might not want to look in to see that we don't want to be saved, but we'll see that we don't want our brother saved. If we look carefully. And then we can see, oh, no, that's not my brother, because there's only one. So if there's any thought of someone not being saved because there's only one, I just boot myself out of heaven, out of salvation that's already here, which is the humor. Even though we know it's impossible not to be saved, we'll do anything to avoid the light. Just to play around in consciousness. Yeah, we're in light circles between revelation and forgiveness sandwich, where you just see that you don't want it. Ego can't survive that. Can the ego survive that kind of looking on both sides? Mm-mm. And then following the Holy Spirit? No, ego can't survive that, because it'll be shown to be untrue, that direct looking. because you know, the game's over. You know that's light. And then we admit we're denying we're light. And then it's like, okay, show me. Show me where I've been unwilling to forgive so that I can stay blind. Where I want to deny this, avoid this lesson like the plague. Is there anywhere? It's kind of, we might as well be honest and see if it's in there. Because there are times we don't want to forgive. I don't know about you, but I certainly have. It's like, I do not want to forgive this. I don't care. I'm going, you know, you could see the choice. I'd rather be in hell than forgive whatever that was, you know. Even though we're already forgiven, we won't forgive. It's hilarious. But anyway, let's look. Without forgiveness, I will still be blind. Jesus, will you show me any little no energies around this? Any denials of this lesson deep in my subconscious mind, if there are any, without forgiveness? Is there any little I and D in there that I can truly see without forgiveness? Any little desire not to forgive, like to have an experience of not being forgiven? I'm willing to look directly. Your fatherhood created them. My brothers are your son, and gave them all to me as part of you and my own self as well. Today, I honor you through them. To honor the father through the brother. Now, that's so beautiful. I honor you. To honor our brothers, to see them as light, is to honor the Father, is to honor ourselves. Can it be any other way for perfect happiness in our direct experience as light beings? To honor our Father by seeing our brothers as pure and perfect and whole and complete, and in that reflection, see ourselves as perfect, whole, and complete. To see our brothers incomplete is truly a day without sunshine. Can we see this in the light? To not see our brothers is just divine perfection. Will we suffer? For we would withhold that against ourselves. Do we all go to heaven together? In the light of infinite being, can we recognize that everyone here and everyone who is in our thoughts must all go to heaven together in light for supreme happiness? Is that true? In our direct experience as light beings? Today, I honor you through them, and thus I hope this day to recognize myself. Amen. Love from San Juan Cosala, Mexico. Big hugs.